At Scottrade, our clients trade and invest exactly how they want.
With Scottrade's online banking, I get one view of my bank and brokerage accounts with one login to easily move my money when I need to. Plus, when I call my local Scottrade office, I can talk to someone who knows how I trade. Because I don't trade like everybody. I trade like me. I'm with Scottrade.
Scottrade, awarded 5 stars from Smart Money Magazine. Scottrade knows our clients trade and invest their own way.
With Scottrade Smart Text, I can quickly understand my charts and spend more time trading. Their quick trade bar lets my account follow me online, so I can react in real time. Plus, my local Scottrade office is there to help. Because they know I don't trade like everybody. I trade like me. I'm with Scottrade.
Scottrade, voted Best Investment Services Company.
At Purina One, we believe in thinking day and night about your dog's nutrition. Like the dual defense antioxidants in our food that work around the clock, supporting your dog's immune system on the inside while helping to keep his skin and coat healthy on the outside. It's just one way Purina One is making the world a better place, one pet at a time. Discover this and more at purina1.com.
Welcome to Grooming by Kennelwood. We're located inside the Humane Society of Missouri Macklin location. We offer various spa services. We offer haircuts, baths, Shed-X treatment, healthy coat and skin, brushing teeth, and filing nails. And we are very happy to be here. We're going to talk about having your dog's nails clipped and filed. The filing will allow them to be smoother, rounder, and shorter to the quick area. This is good for people with hardwood floors and furnishings in the home, which they do not want to have scratched. This also helps the pet with allergies. If they're scratching, they will not irritate their skin. And the best part about having your pet groomed by Kennelwood inside the Humane Society of Missouri location is part of these proceeds are donated back to the animals.
Pets help us jump the hurdles of life. They give us unconditional love to keep us running strong and just make us happy. That's why I support the organization like the Humane Society of Missouri. They give people the chance to experience the unconditional love that comes from special animals. The Humane Society of Missouri is committed to creating lasting relationships between people and pets. I support the Humane Society of Missouri, and I hope you will too. I thank you, and the animals thank you.
Welcome back. They say a picture's worth 1,000 words, but when it makes the difference between an animal getting adopted or getting passed over for another pet, it's worth so much more than that. Watch now as we give you a behind-the-scenes look at how the Humane Society of Missouri's Pet Pictures fits into the big picture of finding an animal its forever home.
Taking pictures of pets is not as easy as most people think it is. Of course, with dogs, you can't tell them to sit still, and they listen to you and turn this way and turn your head, and they do what they want to do. So I have come up with techniques to help get their attention. We go through squeaky toys and whistles, and it's fun. I really enjoy it. The variety every day is different. Every dog is different. So it's fun. It's challenging but fun.
This little sweetheart is Rosalie. She is a 7-month-old lab mix, so she is still full of that playful puppy energy.
We also do videos where I can talk about the dog, so you can see them moving around. You can hear me say if they're house trained, if they're good on a leash, if they know any commands like sit, if they're very affectionate. To be able to say that in a video and get that across for people before they drive all the way down here, it's been a really valuable resource. People living outside of the St. Louis area have seen the dog online, they've seen our videos, they've seen the pictures, and they drive hours. One came from Columbia, one actually 3 months ago came from Illinois. They drove all the way from Illinois to adopt that dog. And they walk in and they say, I don't really want to look at any other dogs. I've seen Bugsy online, I've seen his picture, I've seen his video, I want to meet the dog and I want to take him home. And to know that that dog might not have gotten adopted that quickly if it hadn't been for my pictures and video, it makes it all worth it. It's the reason why I do what I do.
You just got an inside look at what goes into taking professional photos of shelter animals. Setting it all up and editing the final product takes a lot of time and a lot of skill. The Humane Society staff is dedicated to getting it perfect if it means a forever home for an animal. Great photos and videos are just one more way the Humane Society of Missouri goes above and beyond to help animals in need. So won't you help them give second chances to even more animals by calling and making a donation? And don't forget, during this program, Scottrade is matching your donations. Your gift will go twice as far and help twice as many animals. So you need to call right now. And speaking of, we have a lot of friendly people right here taking your calls right now, including some celebrities. Miss Jackie Joyner-Kersey is here right now. And we'll wait for her to get off this call, but there she goes. All right, so how's it going?
Oh, amazing. Been trying to get more and more people to call in. Those that are watching, please call in. Give second chance homeless animals a place. So please call in, make those donations.
Isn't it just amazing when you answer the phone, just how many people out in our area want to help?
It is amazing, and the more we can get the word out there, more and more people hopefully call in and make those contributions.
Well, thank you for donating your time for this cause. And oh, I was going to ask Carol, but she's on the phone now. I know that they are so excited to have you sitting by them taking these calls, so thank you so much.
Oh, thank you. I'm excited to be here with them. Thank you.
Thank you. Again, you can call right now. Our toll-free number is 877-803-0078, or you can make a secure donation on our website, hsmo.org. And you can call at any time during the telethon. Volunteers obviously are standing by right now. You can charge your donation on Visa, MasterCard, Discover, or American Express.
Hi, I'm Mike Peters, and I love dogs. In fact, I actually lived right here in Dogtown in St. Louis when I was a kid. I had a mutt named Tony, and plus I draw a dog every day for my comic strip. It's Mother Goose and Grim. Here's Grimmy right here. In my opinion, taking care of all animals is a top priority. That's why I support the Humane Society of Missouri. They provided special love and attention to animals in need for more than 140 years. That's 980 in dog years. The Humane Society of Missouri is counting on you to help them continue this important work. Please join me and Grimmy and Mother Goose in supporting them, because even when they are lapping from the toilet or nosing in the trash, our pets need our love and support, and sometimes the help of the people of the Humane Society of Missouri. Thank you.
Coming up, learn about the next chapter in Trooper's story, his treatment and recovery. Dragged by a truck for more than a mile, you'll be amazed by his progress.
Thanks very much to our generous Second Chances Telethon sponsors, Scottrade, Purina One Beyond, HeartGuard Plus, and Frontline Plus. Please support the products and services of these generous companies who are helping abused and homeless animals every day.
Every year, thousands of pets go missing from the St. Louis area, never to see their families again. Thanks to the efforts of the Humane Society of Missouri, APA of Missouri, and St. Louis County Animal Care, more happy reunions are taking place between people and their lost pets. STLLostPets.org was launched last March as a resource for the metro area. Pet owners can file a lost pet report, scan the database of found pets, and connect with each other on social media to spread the word about their missing dog or cat. Dozens of animals have been returned home safely thanks to STL Lost Pets. Animals like Bailey, a blind and deaf 13-year-old beagle whose owner spotted him on the STL Lost Pets website 5 days after he went missing. And cats like Furby, a long-haired Siamese who ran out of the house and ended up at a Humane Society of Missouri shelter. We hope you never lose your pet, but if you do, log on to STLLostPets.org and visit us on Facebook and Twitter to help bring them home.
Welcome back to the Second Chances Telethon. When the Humane Society of Missouri's Animal Cruelty Task Force rescued Trooper, they wanted to believe he could survive. But with gruesome injuries from being dragged behind a truck for more than a mile, they knew his future was uncertain. The Humane Society's expert veterinary staff looked after him around the clock, and with a great deal of effort and Trooper's strong fighting spirit, things began to look up. As Trooper fought to get better, people from all over the globe took to Facebook to send wishes of love and support. With care packages from as far away as Australia, Trooper's survival story has touched animal lovers in every corner of the world. Let's take a look at his rehabilitation and recovery.
Trooper's been a top-notch patient. He has allowed daily wound care or bandage changes without tensing up or acting too uncomfortable. He's done very well with the pain medicines he's been on, and he has just been an exceptional patient. The wound to his shoulder is the most serious wound Trooper sustained. There was loss of skin, there was loss of some muscle, there was loss of tissues that go around the shoulder joint itself. We were treating that with appropriate bandaging techniques to try and give him a chance to start healing once he started doing better, and to try and keep down the risk of infection. Trooper has borne weight on that leg amazingly well. Even when bandaged, he would use that leg for support. And so Trooper was clearly demonstrating that the leg was not beyond saving. And if we could keep infection from setting in, we might be able to save the leg. At Trooper's second surgery, about a week after the first one, Trooper's body had performed some pretty amazing feats of healing. He had new tissues growing over all the muscles and over the exposed joint. The initial surgery the first week had helped to narrow down the holes that were present.
Watching Trooper and seeing how he really handled everything that was thrown at him, from the trauma of the injuries to lots of people circulating around him and taking care of his medical needs. And he just had such a gentleness and a patience in his eyes. You know, you look in the animal's eyes, you kind of see directly to the soul sometimes. He was so understanding and forgiving. He never offered to bite, even though certainly there were times he was certainly uncomfortable having some of the medical procedures and you know, getting IV catheters and things like that. None of us enjoy that either, but he really bore that well. And beyond that, you know, would gently lay his head on your arm as bandages were being changed. You really didn't have to restrain him much at all that you know you normally would, and certainly he didn't feel well some of those times, and so you really wouldn't expect that type of reaction from an animal in his situation. And so he really, I think, amazed everybody initially with that stoicness and that acceptance and gentleness. And then just the fact that he was able to survive, started making the minor recoveries that he did. You know, it went sometimes hour by hour, day by day. And then he really epitomizes his name, Trooper.
I'm here with Debbie Hill, Vice President of Operations for the Humane Society of Missouri. And Debbie, we are surrounded by cards and toys and treats and care packages. It's amazing how people from all over the world were touched by this little dog. Tell me why you think he was able to pull at their heartstrings.
It is. It's even amazed us how what reach this little puppy has, who's just the greatest pup in the world as far as we're concerned. Very appropriately named Trooper. He really taught us all a lesson about strength and resilience.
I cannot wait to meet Trooper. I've heard he's obviously recovered and he is very, very friendly with people. You've obviously done your job well.
Well, we have a lot of people who are doing the work, and we just get to help plan it out, but there's so many hands supporting this animal and every animal that comes here, you know, from the medical staff to the animal care folks, to the adoption folks, our volunteers, and everybody. I mean, we had everyone in this building, I think, working for this animal to give him his chance. And and we depend on the hands that are supporting us as well.
I know it. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Trooper's recovery is nothing short of a miracle you made possible. So please make more miracles possible for abused animals like Trooper. There are so many innocent dogs and cats that are still waiting to be rescued, and you can be their hero by calling us right now and making a donation. Scottrade has generously offered to match donations that come in during this program, so make your donation count double and call us right now. Stay tuned, because later in the program, we're going to tell you even more about Trooper and what he's up to now. After this short break, we'll give you an update on another dog who touched the lives of Humane Society staff. Ellie was rescued from a vicious dog fighting operation in 2009. Find out how she's doing after this short break. Call now and be a part of the Humane Society's commitment to ending the heartbreaking cycle of animal abuse. Our toll-free number is 877-803-0078. Volunteers are standing by at our phone bank to take your call, so please make a gift right now, or you can make a secure donation on our website, hsmo.org.
One of the things we're most proud of in terms of the level of care that the Humane Society provides in our veterinary hospitals is the fact that we offer full-service veterinary care regardless of whether a pet originates here at our facility, regardless of where people live. We have 3 locations, of course, in Chesterfield and Maryland Heights and here in the city, and we are open for the general public. The other thing that we take great pride in is the fact that we're members of the American Animal Hospital Association, and only 15% of all veterinary hospitals in the United States are ultimately granted accreditation. On top of that, what really is a rarity is that of the 3,000 or so veterinary hospitals in the United States that are fully accredited, only 10 of them are affiliated with full-service humane societies, and we have 3 of those 10. So we're very, very proud of the quality of care that we provide, and the fact that others who set the standard, who essentially establish the gold standard for veterinary care, concur that we offer that high level of care.
Welcome back. 2 years ago on the Second Chances Telethon, we told you the story of Ellie. This amazing pit bull was rescued from the hands of dog fighters when the Humane Society of Missouri carried out the largest dogfighting raid in history, the Missouri 500. Let's take a look back at her story and see what she's up to now.
Ellie's story started with the dogfighting bust. She was one of the 500 dogs that was brought in. She was brought in pregnant and underweight. We became very close to Ellie in one of the last sections that was still open. We worked closely with another rescue in St. Louis. They agreed to take Ellie. We had Ellie home for a weekend in the transport to the rescue. And the day that we had to pack up and take Ellie to the rescue organization, I think that's when we knew that we wanted our home to be her home.
So many people have made the comment, boy, you've done so much for her. It's not what we've done for her, it's what she's done for us. She's changed our life.
We knew that bringing Ellie home wasn't going to be a walk in the park. We knew that Ellie had issues, rightfully so. I can't imagine a dog going through what she went through to not have issues. But the one thing that we did promise her was that we were never going to give up on her. She was a Rebec, and she was going to remain that way for hopefully the next 15 years. Yeah, we hope that she lives a very healthy, great, long life, and she's with us for a very long time, because I couldn't imagine anything happening to her. That would be just devastating to us.
Every day, every week, every month, there's big improvements, and I keep a diary, a log of her major moments in our eyes. The Barkus Parade obviously was one of those moments. Music, noise, extreme crowd, especially close to parade time as the streets really became crowded. But I was confident in her, but she still impressed us, and I think she impressed many others. Here's a dog that came from the worst environment that most of us can't even imagine what these dogs went through. And here she is walking down the streets of Soulard on a joyous day, surrounded by other dogs and other people, and she was just one of the group.
Through all the craziness of this house, sometimes, the one thing that we've never regretted is bringing her home. She's just been heaven sent.
It's ultimately what Ellie's about. I think dogs can teach us so much of living for the moment, whether that's laying in the sun, whether that's laying on the favorite blanket, whether that's getting a treat. You know, she'll lay in my arms for 3 hours at night like a baby, you know, and not move until it's truly bedtime. So it's life-changing to have a dog like that in your home.
Since the last time that we talked about Ellie has really taken a lot of great strides. Not only has she got even more comfortable in the house, she also is Good Canine Citizen certified,
which is recognized by the AKC. And they have it in their archives that Ellie is a certified good citizen. So it's a huge step for a dog that came from a dogfighting bust. She goes to doggy daycare now as a result of just wanting more interaction with other dogs. She lived with 2 sisters here in the house that unfortunately have passed on, and she's suddenly become an only dog. So we take her to doggy daycare about once a week and see her interact with other dogs. So that's a huge step, once again, for a dog that came from the Missouri 500 dogfighting bust, dogs that people would say couldn't interact with other dogs effectively or safely, or mentally could keep it together, that here she is in a pack of just random dogs of people's pets and interacting, playing, having a good time.
We couldn't ask for a better dog. There's no more barriers in the house. There's no more her not walking through doors. She runs around the house, just very free-willed and at her leisure.
She's, I think, what pretty much any dog owner would want. Very mellow, very low-key. She plays a little bit now and then. She's very food-driven, enjoys food time, enjoys treats. But she's really into just being with her people. She likes to lay down, likes to be there when you're watching TV, likes to snuggle. She's not a high-energy dog. She has her moments of running around if she's got a play buddy in the backyard, but she's mellow. She's easygoing. She likes people. She likes dogs. She doesn't ask for a lot, and I think it's just she came from such horrific circumstances. I like to think that she's just content and feels safe and loves what she has.
Had the Humane Society of Missouri not been there to save Ellie, she might still be in that horrible situation today, or worse. But thankfully, she received a second chance and knows the love of a wonderful family. A family whose life she enriches every day. We're so grateful the Humane Society is there when animals need them most, and you can help ensure they will always be there for defenseless dogs like Ellie by making a gift right now. Your generous donation of any amount is used to rescue, rehabilitate, and find loving homes for animals all over Missouri. So please call right now, and Scottrade will double your donation so you can help twice as many abused, abandoned, and homeless animals.
Your gift of $50 provides deworming treatments for 4 puppies. A $100 donation pays for an animal's spay or neuter surgery. And a generous gift of $250 provides heartworm tests for 5 dogs just like Ellie. You saw how much happiness Ellie brings to her family, much like your own pet adds joy to your life. You can call at any time during our program. Volunteers are standing by to take your donation. Please help us make second chances possible for more dogs like Ellie. And don't forget, our lead sponsor, Scottrade, has generously agreed to match any donations made during this program. So pick up the phone and call now to help twice as many animals in need. Charge your donation on Visa, MasterCard, Discover, or American Express. Our toll-free number is 877-803-0078. Or you can make a secure donation on our website, hsmo.org.
Coming up, learn about an exciting new program at the Humane Society of Missouri's Longmeadow Rescue Ranch that makes all the difference when it comes to getting their horses adopted. We'll tell you all about it right after this.
Hi, my name is Joellen Klepacki, and I'm the Assistant Director of Education here at the Humane Society of Missouri, and this is my friend Bailey. She's available for adoption. We have a variety of education programs that we offer to the community. We have students in preschool age up through adults that we reach and teach. We have a variety of programs that we teach in the community. Anything from preschool age groups come to visit us, youth groups, school teachers bring their classes here. We also have outreach presentations that we do, and these take place all year round. If you are interested in finding out more information about the variety of education programs that we offer the community, or you want to become a Humane Educator volunteer, you can visit us on our website, www.hsmo.org, and click on Humane Education.
This is Sylvester. He was rescued after being hit by a car. When Sylvester arrived here, he was in terrible shape. Humane Society veterinarians had to remove his eye and repair injuries to his mouth. Sylvester's life could have ended when he was hit by that car, but thanks to the Humane Society of Missouri, he got his second chance. Sylvester is still healing, but he is on his way to a happy life in a loving home. Please call right now and show your support for this sweet boy. Your donation helps offset the cost of his care, and it helps the Humane Society save the lives of so many other animals. Make a donation that will make a difference. Thank you.
Welcome back. When horses are brought to the Humane Society of Missouri's Longmeadow Rescue Ranch, they're coming from some pretty rough situations. Sick, underfed, and hundreds of pounds underweight. It can take months to nurse them back to physical health. Once they've regained that strength, the attention turns to training. But up until these horses were rescued, they had no reason to trust humans. That's why Longmeadow introduced a special program designed just for them. The apprenticeship program in relational horsemanship teaches people who love horses to become skilled in the fundamentals of horse training. Each week, they work with the rescued horses at Longmeadow, teaching them valuable skills to help them get adopted. Most importantly, they're teaching them to trust.
The original motivation behind the apprentice program was to have peoples who had average skills to interact with the horses at Longmeadow. Through their normal skills, maybe we might find some faults that the horses might have had that otherwise we might have missed. So it gave us an opportunity to correct those faults before they get adopted out to other people.
The apprenticeship program got its start about 3 years ago, a little bit more. I was working with Scott Jaycox out here, just learning how to work with horses. And we were trying to figure out a way to leverage Scott's knowledge, because there's one of him and a lot of horses to be trained. He and I got together and decided that it would be great if we had some kind of an internship or an apprenticeship that was available to people so that they could learn how to work with horses. It would benefit them, but most importantly, it would benefit our own horses by getting them exposed to more people and more training by the time that they're here.
Everybody learns from the experience. Sometimes we have horses with quite a bit of experience, and that allows the apprentices to gain a little confidence and understanding of how it works, and then the next horse they work with may not have any prior handling at all, and through the skills that they learned, and without telling them, they're now training horses. But it's nice to see the natural transition between taking an experienced horse, learning the basic skills or movements and communication, and then going, taking that skill, working with an uneducated horse and then educating it, and it coming out everybody happy and everybody winning.
The apprenticeship program does allow people like me to learn how to deal with their adopted horse and to be a better parent, if you will. Some people use that term. When I adopted my horse Galahad, I knew nothing about horse training. The apprenticeship program or something like that would have helped me enormously learn how to work with my own horse. So the apprenticeship program makes for better adopters as well as better horses.
Well, the transition from being just a horse lover to a horse, I guess caretaker might be a good word for it, is natural. That's the neat thing about it. As we gained education and gain an understanding of the horse, our role automatically changes. We go from petting and loving and hugging to accepting the fact that we are now a leadership, and the horse requires us to be that leader for him. It's a marvelous, almost seamless transition for folks.
One of the things that's most amazing about Scott is the way he's able to combine the various methods that people use to train horses. It's like he takes the best of each program and puts it together in a way that is easy to understand and that works. The other really interesting thing about Scott, and the thing that makes this apprenticeship program so successful, is that he's not only a tremendous horse trainer and horse handler, but he's also a very gifted teacher and instructor. He's able to take what he knows, demonstrate it, and then teach other people how to do it. And that's not a combination you find very often. It's pretty easy to get involved in the apprenticeship program. People who are interested, there will be a link on our website to the apprenticeship program.
We're more concerned with someone's physical ability. It can be very strenuous, from even just walking in the footing to handling a 1,500-pound animal who doesn't have the exact goal that you have. So there's a certain amount of physical activity required between endurance and strength. So that's the minimal requirement. Other than that, I mean, the real requirement is desire.
Well, we try not to tell people this when they start the apprenticeship program, but we have about a 20% adopter ratio. A lot of the folks, they come, they work with a horse, they fall in love with that horse. And those who can will take one home. And that's really wonderful because it gives the horse a good home with someone who knows how to communicate with it. And that's a win-win.
It truly is amazing to see the level of dedication Longmeadow Rescue Ranch has for its horses. Kathy, tell us about what goes on at Longmeadow.
Not only do we rescue horses and farm animals from terrible abuse and neglect situations, we give them the veterinary care they need. Our dedicated staff members administer the medications, treatment, and food the animals need to get healthy. We make sure the animals are comfortable around people and being handled. And we give our horses the special training they need to be great companions.
The Humane Society of Missouri knows that rescued animals are not broken. They just need someone to help them, to work with them, to give them that TLC they've been missing. They need someone to give them a second chance. And you can give second chances to abused, abandoned, and homeless animals by picking up the phone right now and making a donation. Every dollar you contribute to the Humane Society goes toward a very good cause. And for this program only, your dollars will be matched. You can call at any time, and volunteers are standing by. Charge your donation on Visa, MasterCard, Discover, or American Express. Our toll-free number is 877-803-0078, or you can make a secure donation on our website, hsmo.org. Coming up, meet Marshall the Miracle Dog. Rescued from a hoarder in 2010, his inspiring story has now been turned into a children's book. Stick around because Marshall's story is next.
This is Tumbleweed. Tumbleweed is a barn buddy at Longmeadow Rescue Ranch, so she is available for sponsorship. Tumbleweed was rescued in January of 2012. Tumbleweed was actually down when we got there, meaning she was too weak to stand on her own. Now she's full of spunk and life and loves to get out and play with her friends. The money that we make by sponsoring animals helps Longmeadow to be able to rescue more horses just like Tumbleweed.
As county executive, I am concerned about the welfare of the people in our community. I'm also concerned about the welfare of our animals in our community. I want to ensure that pets and people live together in safety and harmony, and that all pets receive proper care and shelter. That is why I support the efforts of the Humane Society of Missouri. The Humane Society of Missouri give abused and neglected homeless animals a second chance. To continue their great work, the Humane Society of Missouri needs support from people like you and me. Please call now and make a donation to help assure the well-being of homeless animals throughout St. Louis and Missouri.
Thanks very much to our generous Second Chances Telethon sponsors, Scott Trade, Purina One Beyond, HeartGuard Plus, and Frontline Plus. Please support the products and services of these generous companies who are helping abused and homeless animals every day.
When the Humane Society of Missouri rescued Marshall in October of 2010, his life was far from a fairy tale. The victim of a hoarder, every day of Marshall's life was a fight. He lived in a filthy place with more than 20 other dogs, dogs who bullied and attacked him if he came near their food. He was abused, badly injured, and he needed help. This is the story of Marshall's rescue.
Marshall is a rock star. Marshall knows that he is a celebrity. When the camera comes out, he pops into action.
I first met Marshall in October. I had been dispatched to assess a piece of property, rural property, just outside of Marshall, Missouri. He was inside a wooden building. It was caving in. I had to crawl over boards and other debris to get to Marshall. He had an injury in the left side of his face that I probably could have put my fist into. And his left front leg was extremely damaged. He had other scarring, he had other issues. It was apparent that we needed to get Marshall off of that property and to a veterinarian immediately.
He had very, very severe injuries that were the result of probable bite wounds. He had a huge open wound on the left side of his face. He had multiple wounds on the left shoulder. And the infection not only got into his bloodstream, but it actually invaded the bone. And unfortunately, when the bone is infected, it's very difficult, if not impossible, to treat that with antibiotics, which is why ultimately a decision had to be made to amputate that leg. In addition, he was highly parasitized. He was very malnourished and obviously had been neglected above and beyond the traumatic injuries. He had been neglected obviously before and after those injuries were incurred.
The property that Marshall was located on, there was approximately 60 other dogs on the property. It was apparent that he was the bottom of the totem pole. He had severe injuries. He had bite marks. He most likely sustained his injuries from other dogs, most likely vying for food, most likely vying for status. He most likely found a place to hide in this building and away from the other dogs. There was a little bit of separation, but if the dogs had really wanted to get to Marshall, they certainly could have. The wounds were most horrific. In fact, I don't know that I've seen another canine with this extent of wounds that was still alive.
It literally took my breath away. He was in horrible shape. He was one of the first dogs, if not the first dog, off of the truck, which is a very ominous sign. That meant he was in very dire straits. And in fact, he had spent a night at another veterinary hospital near the site of the actual raid and then was brought back here. Had Marshall not come here, there's absolutely no question that he would not have survived. And quite frankly, without the intervention of our Animal Cruelty Task Force and then the Veterinary Medical Center and then the people in the shelter who provided ongoing nursing care and tender loving care, none of this would have been possible. So, you know, it definitely took teamwork, and it took a very special dog with a very incredible will to live for him to survive.
Marshall is a very fortunate dog, a very lucky dog. He went through a lot of surgeries. It's my understanding they actually lost him a couple of times on the surgery table, but evidently he has a grand will to live. He was adopted to a wonderful individual who spent a lot of time with Marshall. She spent a lot of time studying why Marshall would have been in the condition that he was in, and she wrote a wonderful book. And the title of that book is Marshall. And it's geared for not only children, but I think adults can also read Marshall and take something away from that. She focuses on the bullying aspect. and Marshall can help teach children why bullying is not good, why it is not acceptable into our society. Marshall is actually out there. He is teaching kindness and tolerance, and he's teaching the world to be a kinder place.
Well, the first time I saw Marshall was actually on the Humane Society website. They had just posted his video on YouTube, and I knew I wanted to get a brother for Mushi anyway. I just didn't ever think in my wildest dreams that it would have been a special needs dog. And so when I brought Marshall home, a lot had to change in the house. I have hardwood floors, I have tile, I have steps, and I also had a brother Mushi. I mean, Marshall had never been in a home before. The Humane Society had been his first actual home, so to speak. I really had to separate them at first, just until Marshall began to trust that this was going to be a safe environment for him. He can run. He has chased squirrels. He's actually caught a couple. How he did that, we really don't know, but he's very quick. He loves to play. There's really no physical sensitivities that I can tell when I touch where his leg used to be or on his face where the Humane Society sewed up the scar. There's seems to be absolutely nothing that holds him back. Mushi and Marshall, almost immediately, there was a sense of brotherly love there. When Mushi realized Marshall wasn't going anywhere, there was a natural protection and a sense of just camaraderie right away. And now they have their morning ritual of about 20 minutes of playtime. They sunbathe together when it's nice outside. They're pretty much together all the time. The Humane Society has their Humane Education Department. So Marshall became an ambassador and I volunteered to teach the children that come in the humane education practices and give tours. And I saw this natural connection between children and Marshall. And the first questions they would ask is about what Marshall must have felt when he was being attacked and living with his wounds. And I could tell that they were picking up from their own experiences and things that they had learned along the way and putting it on Marshall. And I saw this natural message that Marshall carried about kindness. And obviously bullying is an epidemic in our schools and in our societies today. So I realized that he might be just the right ambassador for carrying an anti-bullying message.
It was clear that the will to live was ultimately going to determine the fact that he was going to be a success story. Little did we know how much of a success story he would turn out to be in terms of what he's gone on to do and insofar as educating the public about the problems that many of the animals that we see are faced with.
The message to me was that it's never okay to be a bully, even when you're maybe being treated bad at home or something rough is going on in your life, because that doesn't mean you have to take it out on other people.
For us to bring the animals in out of the field and take them to one of the most premier facilities in the nation, knowing that they have the opportunity to receive the best of care, it just doesn't get any better than that right now for me in my life. To compare Marshall today to when we first saw him, where he had basically all but given up on life, and to watch him with Cindy at a book signing, and when she is reading her book to children who are surrounding her and Marshall, it's pretty remarkable. On it, so it lets you know why we do our job. It lets you know why we go out and we assess these animals and we assess these situations, most abusive, horrendous situations that are reported to us and we respond to. And so to watch him as a rock star, as a shining example of the goodness of life. And to watch him respond with the children during the book signings and the book readings, it is a pretty remarkable.
If you are looking for a reason to call in and donate, Marshall's story is it. This is a picture of him on the day he was rescued. And here he is now on the cover of his very own children's book. Marshall's story is one of hope. And the Humane Society of Missouri wants to be that hope for even more abused and homeless animals. But they cannot do it without you. If you are touched by Marshall's story, or if a pet has ever touched your life, call right now. Make a donation to honor them. Whatever you can afford to give will make a big difference to animals in need. And for this program only, your gift counts double thanks to the generous people at Scottrade. You can call at any time. Volunteers are standing by right now. Charge your donation on Visa, MasterCard, Discover, or American Express. Our toll-free number is 877-803-0078, or you can make a secure donation on our website, hsmo.org. From one amazing dog to another, we're about to show you the rest of Trooper's story. After the break, see what he's up to now. He has made a full recovery from being dragged behind a truck. Don't go anywhere. The incredible conclusion to Trooper's story is right up after this message from our sponsors.
We believe nature is inspiring. We believe in making thoughtful choices, crafting recipes without corn or wheat for the type of nutrition you want for your pet. And we believe together we can make the world a better place, one pet at a time. Purina One Beyond, food for your cat or dog.
Scottrade knows our clients trade and invest their own way.
With Scottrade Smart Text, I can quickly understand my charts and spend more time trading. Their quick trade bar lets my account follow me online, so I can react in real time. Plus, my local Scottrade office is there to help. Because they know I don't trade like everybody. I trade like me. I'm with Scottrade.
Scottrade, voted best investment services company. At Scottrade, our clients trade and invest exactly how they want.
With Scottrade's online banking, I get one view of my bank and brokerage accounts with one login to easily move my money when I need to. Plus, when I call my local Scottrade office, I can talk to someone who knows how I trade. Because I don't trade like everybody. I trade like me. I'm with Scottrade.
Scottrade, awarded 5 stars from Smart Money Magazine.
We've truly saved the best for last on this year's Second Chances Telethon. At the beginning of the program, you learned about Trooper, the adorable puppy who beat the odds after he survived being dragged behind a truck for more than a mile. His story reached people all over the world. He has forever changed the lives of the staff and volunteers who helped him on his road to recovery. After months of surgeries, laser treatments, physical therapy, and training, we are thrilled to show you the progress he's made today. Take a look at what this wonderful dog is up to now.
We are absolutely elated that Trooper is going to be fostered at Longmeadow Rescue Ranch by Jessica Lindley, our supervisor. It is going to give him an opportunity to become exposed to many other different species of animals, many different people, and it's a wonderful opportunity for him to be socialized and really learn how to be a dog. And we're hoping it will give him the chance to become healthy, happy, and become a family pet.
It's absolutely wonderful to be able to see Trooper experience all these new things, meet all these animals and these people, things that maybe he would have never had a chance to do before. He's had a long recovery and has overcome a lot of obstacles, and it's really neat to see him out here enjoying life. So far, he really enjoys the pigs, and he also has a good time with some of the younger horses. And then, of course, his new friends, Twister and Tumbleweed.
Trooper has a legion of followers. He's an international celebrity. He has more than 14,000 Facebook fans. He has received accolades and presents from people in several dozen countries, and he has captured the hearts and minds of people because he is a special, special dog.
Shake. Thank you. Well, right now what we're working on with Trooper is we're working on some impulse control. It's really important for any dog to have impulse control. We've worked on the cue, leave it, and he knows not to take it until I give it to him, take it. We've worked on down. We also worked on a fun trick that we feel owners get a kick out of, which is leave it on your feet. And for a food-motivated dog, this is really a tough leave it, leave it, so these are all just basic skills that we work on to teach him impulse control and to make him a better pet. Sit down are the basic cues that every owner wants their dog to do. It's all a part of making him more adoptable and a better dog.
I'll know we've been successful with Trooper when he's comfortable in our home, in our family situation, when he's comfortable around lots of different people and different animals, and just a really happy, normal puppy.
We hope that anytime anyone sees Trooper, that they will recognize how incredibly important their support is and what their support can achieve, what we can together achieve with abused and neglected animals, giving them a second chance for a healthy and happy home.
Here he is, everyone, the celebrity himself. This is Trooper, and does he not look amazing? We're also joined by his incredible team of caretakers from the Humane Society of Missouri. These are the people that deserve the credit for saving Trooper's life. They have been his angels. Team Trooper is here. Is there anything you guys would like to say?
We'd like to thank everyone out there for their support. The response to Trooper's story has been overwhelming. He truly is an ambassador for the work we do here day in and day out.
What an outcome. Congratulations to all of you. And Kathy, congratulations especially to Team Trooper.
Absolutely.
This is just such a sweet boy, and you guys really did give him a second chance. You know, Jasmine, Trooper would make a great mascot for the Humane Society of Missouri. His inspiring story of rescue and recovery represents everything they stand for.
You're absolutely right, Virginia. All of the stories that we've seen during this telethon have been incredible. Can you imagine where these animals would be without the Humane Society of Missouri?
We really want you at home to think about that. Where would these animals be without the Humane Society of Missouri? What if they hadn't been there to rescue Trooper after he was dragged behind that truck? What if they had not been there to pull Gemma out of that construction trench? Or round up those pets after the horrible 5-alarm fire?
What would have happened to Tumbleweed if the Humane Society hadn't rescued her from starvation? What if Marshall had been left to fend for himself against the dogs that bullied him?
The Humane Society of Missouri never wants to have those what-if moments. And without their services, these happy ending stories would have very likely ended in tragedy. But they were there when these animals needed them most. Won't you help ensure that they will always be there?
For every animal like Trooper we've rescued, there are countless more who need the Humane Society of Missouri's help. And we need your help to make sure we can always be there for the dogs, cats, horses, and other animals who so desperately need us.
The Humane Society of Missouri couldn't do any of this without your donations. So make the call right now. Volunteers are standing by at the phone bank to help you make your gift. A gift that, for just a few more minutes, goes twice as far thanks to Scott Trade. They'll match whatever amount you give, so don't wait a second longer. Pick up the phone and help those animals who cannot help themselves.
On behalf of everyone at the Humane Society of Missouri and the many animals who benefited from their services this year, Jasmine and I would like to thank you for watching, thank you for giving, and thank you for making second chances possible for animals in need.
The animal world has lost one of its most dedicated and tenacious advocates with the death of Dr. Suzanne Saresic. She was an exceptionally important and beloved member of the Humane Society of Missouri family. She served as Chief of Staff of the Humane Society's Veterinary Medical Hospital for the majority of her 55 years with our organization. Her exceptional intellect and tireless devotion to improving the lives of animals in need helped more than 1 million animals live healthier and happier lives. In addition, she helped build the Humane Society of Missouri into one of the largest and most active animal welfare organizations in the country. She earned a reputation as a trailblazer and fearless fighter when it came to providing top-notch, state-of-the-art care for animals. Suzanne's heartfelt mentoring of veterinary students and staff won her legions of loyal supporters, as well as new advocates for the cause of improving the lives of animals. While her own voice has been silenced, her devotion to animals in need will be carried on through the many she befriended and mentored through the years. From the bottom of our hearts, we thank Suzanne for setting such an incredible example for all of us who are trying to follow in her footsteps to make the world a better place for man's best friend.